what about Ravage?
Don't worry about him. He's not going anywhere.
No. Bad kitty, you stay in that cage. Bad kitty, put that key down. Hello, my name is Fu Manchu, and I've been a Transformers fan since the first day the cartoon aired. And you know what? One of my all-time favorite Transformers back then was Ravage, probably my favorite. And you know what? I still love the little kitty cat. Problem is, he doesn't do a whole lot in these series that they've made since that original series. I mean, he really hasn't popped up much. I mean, he was really awesome in Beast Wars. Oh, I love that. And then, more recently, he appeared in the Bumblebee movie, but only for a few seconds. But when it happened, I was happy. And you know what? This figure that I'm going to review today, when I found out it existed a long time ago, I was like, oh, I need that. But then I missed out on it, and then it got super expensive. Dang it. But then, they re-released it recently with animation colors, and I was like, oh, and that was the one I had to have. And not only did it come with animation colors, it actually came with a few more accessories. So let's go check it out, shall we? Today's review will be on the Ocular Max Remix RMX-01C Jaguar Cel. And holy cow, check this out. Now you could see here that Cel could stand for two different things. Cel shaded and the Cel he comes with. Now that is pretty awesome indeed. And check out that artwork. I absolutely love that. It looks like a Cel right from the cartoon. That is just so amazing. In fact, this whole box is amazing. On the front here, you have this painting of a Cel almost with the background and everything there. And when you turn it to the side, you'll see the pencils that Cel was created from, and that is awesome. And it doesn't stop there. Looking at the top of the box, you see him in cassette mode with a pencil drawing of the background there, and then the actual action pose that you used to see all the time on the box art or the packaging art. That mimics it perfectly, and that is the toy. That is awesome. Looking at the back of the package, you can see Ravage has already escaped, and man, that looks so cool indeed. But what's even cooler is if you look below, you'll see an actual tech spec, and that looks like the original tech specs of old. That is so amazing. Now looking up here, you will see Jaguar Sabotage. He's a big Beastie Boys fan, and it says, forged to be the ultimate living weapon, Jaguar embodies the ferocious attitude, ruthless cunning, and the ultimate stealth to achieve any task set before him. Whether it be reconnaissance missions or the front line of battle, Jaguar is a valuable combatant to have on your team. And man, I absolutely love the fact that they added this little tech spec here. I love that it has the little drawing there and it's different than the front. Yeah, that is awesome. Now, looking at the front of the box for the very last time, I've got to say, after getting this package in the mail, this box is heavy. Now, I knew he had some die-cast parts, and I knew he came with that cage and everything, and I know he's a full-size cassette size, but man, I didn't expect it to be this heavy. I mean, it's heavier than most Masterpiece Transformers that are official that I've gotten in a long time. This thing is heavy, and when you get it, you will be surprised too. But anyways, I can't wait to see this thing open, so I say we open it! Now, after sliding the package out of the box, there's not a whole lot to see. You can see that the cage seems to be wrapped in tissue paper. But if you flip this little package around, you'll get a little sneak peek of Ravage in cassette form inside a little plastic cassette holder. And that is awesome. Let's pull him out of the package, shall we? And oh my gosh, after pulling this thing out of the package, this is one heavy cassette tape. And just looking at this in the package, you know, like this little cassette holder and stuff, this really takes me back because I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm old enough to remember buying cassette tapes. Now, I used to always buy albums, the records and stuff like that over cassette tapes, but when I finally started collecting cassette tapes, yeah, I had a million of them. But you know what? A lot of you probably don't even know what a cassette tape is. You're like, what is that? He turns into a little flat square pancake or something? Well, I don't get it. But you know what? This was what we bought in the day, and this is amazing. And seriously, just seeing this out of the package like this in the right scale and everything, because from what I hear, it's just a hair bigger than an actual cassette tape, just a little bit, but not much. Man, this really does feel like a cassette tape, albeit a very heavy one. But you know what? I haven't even looked at the front of the package yet, so let's flip them over and check out the front. And check that out. It just gets better. Not only do you get that awesome Ravage art over the purple grid of the Transformers, backgrounds and stuff, but you also get a little sound wave coming out of there. That is really cool indeed. Now it says all the same information that the front of the box has, so that is very cool indeed. And from what I understand, when you pull out this little paper thing, you don't get lyrics this time. Nope, you get instructions on how to transform him. And just like the paper from an original cassette, it's impossible to lay flat. But check that out. You get the instructions on one side, and on the other side, you get this really awesome action shot of him transforming using the actual figure. That is incredible. Man, these things have come a long way. And the fact that they actually got a cassette shape to make the actual shape from the cartoon, man, my little foo hat is off to you, Ocular Max. You did an amazing job, and I cannot wait to see this Transformer transformed. Now, also inside of that little paper thing that comes inside of the cassette box, you get this little trading card, and I love that little drawing there of Ravage or Jaguar being a good kitty and sitting there. That is so awesome looking. Flipping the card over, you get his little bio again, another picture of the toy in Jaguar and in cassette mode, and his little stats down there, and that is awesome. Another piece of paper that you get inside of the package, not inside of the cassette, but inside of the box. You get this little thing here, how to put the cell together, and how to use his little claw thing that comes out of his paw. That is awesome. And last but not least, you get the pieces to make the cage. Now, these pieces over here that look like a little ladder that the Hardy Boys would jump off of, well, those right there are very lightweight. But the ones inside of that tissue paper, they're pretty heavy indeed. Now, I don't know what they're made out of or what, but I know the bars aren't going to be as heavy as the base, but man, it's pretty heavy. Now, if you look a little carefully there, you'll see the key and you'll see his little claw thing, and that is awesome. Now, it's time to focus on the main event, Ravage himself, and check out him in cassette mode. Now, this is him fresh out of the package, so he may be a little mistransformed because you can see those little, I don't know, the V-shaped things at the top there should be pushed flush or whatever. But you know what? I'm not going to worry about it because he's never going in cassette mode again after today. Now, looking at the cassette, it does resemble a cassette because it's got the little spokes there where the reels turn and stuff. But there isn't really any, designs or stickers or anything there to show off that it's an actual cassette. There's no side A, side B thing, nothing like that. But that's okay because the reason why they don't do that is so that when you have him in Jaguar mode, he looks like he's just jumped right out of the cartoon. Now, flipping him over, you'll see that this side is exactly like the other side, albeit with a lot of rivets and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty cool indeed. And like I said, this to me, him transforming, that's just an added bonus. The fact that he's the size of a real cassette tape and stuff, that is super cool and all. But like I said, I just want him in Jaguar mode, so I cannot wait to transform him. So I say we waste no more time and transform him. What do you say?
The rocket base is 140 kilometers due west of the Autobot camp. Excellent, Ravage! Excellent!
And the words excellent Ravage really sum up this figure. Holy cow! I mean, this is the figure I thought I had when I was younger. Man, this looks so screen accurate, it is ridiculous. Now, the original G1 Transformer of Ravage was just a little flat thing. I mean, he wasn't like three-dimensional at all. I mean, check this out. This is total... the way he looked in the cartoon and the size and the weight and everything, this is so awesome. Now, when this figure first got released, it was all in black with like, vac metal rockets and stuff like that. But I like this one a lot better being the lighter gray. It's almost a greenish gray. And I really like that the rockets on his back or whatever are more just silver painted, not vac metal. Now, I know the vac metal is closer to the G1 toy, but this one looks way more like the cartoon, and that is awesome. I absolutely love that little half circle gray right there that goes up onto his shoulder. I mean, that's right out of the cartoon. All he needs is 2 Decepticon symbols for his shoulders, and I cannot wait to add those. This looks absolutely amazing. Looking at his eye, he has some reflective silver paint in there. You can see his teeth, his mouth opens, everything. He's super articulated. This is so cool. Getting a better close-up view of his head, you can see that reflective paint there in the eye. That is so amazing. Just look at the details, man. They really nailed this. I mean, he's even got little ear holes there and where his ears are laid back. His teeth look amazing. His mouth is all awesome looking. Yeah, they did a great job on this figure. Now, I had heard, from watching reviews a long time ago and stuff for the first one, how when you transform him, he's kind of rickety and stuff like that. Now, this one wasn't rickety at all. If anything, it was really stiff. That little rectangle there was the hardest part to remove because that was like fastened to that little peg there. And as you can see, there's a little like mushroom lip or whatever to it. And yeah, that was really hard to get out. And I was afraid I was going to break it. So, but yeah, be careful. But those little squares there, like on his paws and stuff, those don't mess anything up. I mean, it's easy to transform him. It's very, very cool indeed. He's got a lot of articulation. You could probably get him in setting mode and everything. I'm just going to leave him like this. He looks amazing, and I absolutely love him. And just look at that head. Oh, that is Ravage through and through. And man, that is so cool. Plus, like I said, not only being in G1, cartoon colors and stuff like that, but also more in scale. Because when you compare this one to the Masterpiece Ravage that came out, well, you're going to notice a little bit of a difference. And the phrase "little bit" really does describe the Masterpiece one. Look at that. That didn't even look like the same character, does it? I mean, this looks like a little puppy or something chasing around Ravage going, "Where are you going? Where are you going? Hey, boss, where are you going? Hey, where are you going?" But you know what? That is so amazing. And you know what? When I first heard that the Masterpiece Soundwave came with this one, not only, Frenzy Rumble and Laserbeak and stuff like that, but when I found out he was coming with Ravage, I had to have him. And when I got this, I was like, this is so little. Now, he is more three-dimensional. He isn't flat like the original G1 cassette tape, but yeah, this is kind of pathetic compared to this. I mean, if I don't get it, man. If third parties can do this, then why can't the other official Transformers do this? Now, I know they don't want to make him in full-size cassette mode or whatever, a cassette tape size, I guess. They want to make him more micro tape size like the original toys. I get that, but can't you make this like this in this scale maybe? I don't know. I mean, maybe you lose some detail and stuff, but surely you could shrink that down. I don't know, but looking at it through the camera lens, looking at this looks like a little cheap knockoff toy. And looking at this with the white background looks like a Cel. It looks like it jumped right out of the cartoon. And you know what? I absolutely love it. Now, one of the things that I didn't love was putting this cage together. Oh my God. Now, the plastic is very brittle feeling, and I actually broke one of the tiny little pegs on the back part of it. But that's okay, because it still goes together and holds together fine. But yeah, be very, very careful. Now, if you look carefully, you see these little slots that are cut into the side there. Now, on the other side, there's actually these little bars. I mean, you can see them right back there that kind of slot into place on some of them. And the instructions isn't, they're not very clear on how to do that. And like this thing has to face on the outside so that you can open the door, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, when you're putting it together, it looks like all the sides, are identical. And you try to put it together and the holes are on both sides. So, if you're not careful, you'll put the peg into the hole and then go, oh crap, I got to pull that apart. And then it snaps off one of the little tiny pegs. So be very, very careful. Always keep these little slot things here on the outside and the slot pieces on the inside. And that should help. But yeah, putting the little pegs down into the bases down there, that was the hardest part. They did not want to go on one side. And I mean, it just felt like, pushing it down was going to break it. So be very, very, very careful. But when you finally get it together, it looks awesome. Especially considering the fact that this full-sized Ravage can fit in there, and that looks amazing. Now, also amazing is this little tiny key, and that is so cool. Now, I believe the Masterpiece Hound that just recently came out comes with a little key too, so you can probably use that one if you want to. But as you can see, it's got a little metal ring there. Now, the key itself is plastic, but the ring is metal, so you can hang that on your little Masterpiece Hound's clip on the side of his belt. That is pretty cool indeed. Plus, this key actually fits inside of the cage, and that is awesome. And in case you want Ravage to finally reach the key, check this out. He comes with this little crane machine grabber, and that is awesome. And with that attached, I think a jailbreak is in his imminent future.
What happened? Ravage. He escaped. Perfect.
Oh man, I love that scene. But did you ever notice that it's Hound's mouth moving, but it's Mirage's voice coming out of it? Weird. So, what did I think of the Ocular Max RMX-01C Jaguar? Well, I gotta say, this is a figure that I've wanted for a really long time, and I regretted not being able to get the first, 4 times? Is this the fourth one? Jeez. But yeah, they made one, then they made a different color one called Cat Call. I don't know how many releases they've had. Jeez. But you know what? I'm glad I missed out on those because I really like getting this animation colored one and, getting the cell, getting that little key, his little grabber thing. This is awesome, man, and I absolutely love it, and I'm so glad that this is the one that I finally got. So, until next time, tune in for more food reviews!
Hey, this is Nolan North. You don't want to miss Food Reviews.